Back. It's your boy TG13. Today we're going to talk about a trade rumor going around the Panthers and the Browns in talks right now about trading Baker Mayfield. The Browns said that they would pay half of his salary if the Panthers were to trade for him. I know that they said they didn't want Sam Darnold in the trade. That is, the Browns said they didn't want Sam Darnold in the trade, but I'm curious to see what would happen. What would the Panthers have to give in that trade to get Baker? Is it going to be a third, fourth round pick? Are they going to have to throw a player in there? We know it's not going to be multiple firsts or anything like that. Baker's not going to play for Cleveland this year, and Deshaun, I don't think he's going to play this year either. We had 2 more cases come out. I think that puts it up to 24. Women have now come out and said that Deshaun had done stuff and accusations, 24 accusations from women that said that Deshaun had done stuff and not looking good. So not real happy with the Browns fantasy wise. Not really looking at any players on that team right now. But it got me thinking, what if Baker did get traded to Carolina? And the one player I thought of, and we're going to talk about him here in this video, is DJ Moore. And I've not trashed him. I've trashed his quarterback play. I believe that DJ Moore is a great player, and he really is. He almost was a wide receiver 1 last year. It was almost a top 10 wide receiver last year. He was 18th in the NFL, and that's only with 4 touchdowns. And that's with Sam Darnold as his quarterback, and without Christian McCaffrey half the year, in that offensive line, it was just trash. So yeah, that's pretty good to have all of that, and you're still almost a wide receiver 1, almost a top 10 wide receiver. So we're gonna look at not Deshaun. We're gonna look at Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, and kind of see if Baker Mayfield gets traded, what could we see out of DJ Moore? So first up, we have Sam Darnold. This is his last year. This is 2021. He played in 12 games last year, and you see it all right there. I have the attempts, 24th in the NFL. His passing yards, 28th in the NFL, 9 passing touchdowns. That goes back to DJ Moore only having 4 touchdowns. When your quarterback can't even throw double-digit touchdowns, how do you expect to be a wide receiver 1? And like I said a minute ago, and DJ Moore almost was a wide receiver 1. So just starting out the bat right there at 9 passing touchdowns, that's horrible. And 13 interceptions. It is what it is. We'll see with Baker. He had 13 interceptions as well. Completion percentage, 59.9%. 6.2 yards per attempt, not very good. 15 big-time throws. Those are throws over 20 yards. More like you're trying to fit it into a pocket, put it in the breadbasket, 20 yards downfield. He only had 15 of those. Red zone completion, 53.3%. So we see that, not only was the red zone not very good for Sam Darnold, but neither was throwing the ball over 20 yards. They're trying to stretch out a drive, trying to get something downfield. We see that there was 6.2 yards per attempt. It's hard to get DJ Moore a touchdown or even more yards if you're not throwing the ball downfield. You're not testing out the defense. And when you're in the red zone, you're not doing anything. You're not completing it. 53.3% is obviously not any good. He had an NFL passer rating last year of 71.9. So what I did is, because Sam Darnold only played 12 games, and it's rude of me to attack him, and I don't really mean to attack him. I do like Sam Darnold. I thought he was going to be good last year, and it was in a video I did about a year ago. I thought Sam Darnold, I didn't think he was going to be the second coming, but I thought he was going to be at least decent and provide for that team, and we saw that he didn't. So I don't mean to trash him when I'm talking like this. But what I did is I went ahead and adjusted the stats to 17 games. So he would have thrown for 3,579-ish. That was the average. I just took the average and put it towards 17 games. That would have put him 18th in the NFL. Obviously, way better than 28th, only playing 12 games, but still not very good. He's in there between Trevor Lawrence and Carson Wentz. As a Jags fan, and having Indy friends or friend, not good company to be with in last year. Trevor Lawrence had a horrible year. Carson Wentz, don't even get me started on that guy. Touchdowns, 12.75 touchdowns. I would have put him 28th in the NFL. That's between Jameis Winston, who was hurt, and Trevor Lawrence. And again, we just talked about this. Trevor Lawrence had a horrible year last year as a rookie. So barely hitting the double-digit touchdowns in 17 games. Not good. And then 18.41 interceptions. He would have been worse than Trevor Lawrence last year. Trevor Lawrence threw 17 interceptions and 12 touchdowns. So think of that while I'm talking about the difference between Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. On a 17-game, it's adjusted from 12 games to 17 games. Sam Darnold was the equivalent to Trevor Lawrence. Now, you hear the media, you hear, like ESPN, Fox Sports, I hear it a lot down here with 1010XL in the local media, and they trash Trevor Lawrence. And I mean, I've seen it on ESPN where they're saying, is he a bust? Is Zach Wilson better? Trey Lance? They start naming off these quarterbacks, and are they better than Trevor Lawrence? So again, as a rookie, he did all of that on pace with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is not a good quarterback. I've shown it right there. It's ridiculous. Baker Mayfield is better. Now, we're going to go to career stats. There's the passing attempts, passing yards, passing touchdowns, passing interceptions. 54 passing touchdowns, 52 interceptions. Career completion, 59.8. So, you look back, 59.9 last year. That's his career is less than 60%. I know it's right there on the border, so we'll say 60%. It's not good. Yards per attempt, 6.5. He doesn't throw the ball downfield. And as a DJ Moore, if you are a DJ Moore owner, you want that ball to go downfield. You want to be able to get closer to the end zone to get those touchdowns. The fact that he only had 4 touchdowns last year, complete travesty. When I saw that, and I see now, because Sam Darnold is still the quarterback as of right now, I see now, like ESPN, for instance, I'll use them. On the projections for DJ Moore, they're putting it 5 touchdowns. But they're still ranking him like 18th, like he was last year. It's ridiculous. As a fantasy owner, and again, this is strictly fantasy football. I don't care NFL, blah, blah, blah. As a fantasy owner, I want Sam Darnold gone. I want Baker Mayfield. I really want Baker Mayfield with Seattle, and we'll do a video with that later. But I want Baker Mayfield with the Panthers for DJ Moore. DJ Moore is way too good of a wide receiver to be with the likes of Sam Darnold. You see his NFL passer rating, 76.9 for his career. So next up we have Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield was injured last year, same as Sam Darnold. He had a separated shoulder. It's going to skew these numbers a little bit. And I almost wanted to go back to 2020 when he had that phenomenal year. But I just went ahead just to go with the video. I went off of last year. So even with a separated shoulder and all that was going on in Cleveland with Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry, all of that going on, Baker Mayfield still had a better year than Sam Darnold. Again, Odell Beckham Jr., separated shoulder. The Browns organization. The Browns are the worst organization I've ever seen. They make Jacksonville look like New England. I don't want to use New England, not after all that. We'll say They make Jacksonville look like... I do like Kansas City. We'll say the Ravens. I really like the Ravens front office. They make the Jacksonville Jaguars look like the Baltimore Ravens. The Browns are ridiculous. You have this quarterback who came off a great year in 2020. Separated shoulder. Oh, no, we're not going to bring anybody in. We love you, Baker. And then you go get this guy, who I'm going to try to stay off of that topic as much as possible, but you go get this guy with all the stuff in his bag and bring him in. And now you have Baker just sitting there going, guys, what are you doing? Like, I was injured. Just what are you doing? And it's ridiculous. The Browns organization is horrible. They need to pack up and sell that team and move them. Maybe not move them, because I think Cleveland, I think they really do love their Browns, but they need to get a whole new owner. They need to get a new GM. What they are doing right now is absolutely ridiculous. Okay. I do apologize about that, but the more I was looking into this and doing these stats and doing this video, the more my blood was boiling about the Browns organization. So, if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on the Browns organization, because this is, like I said, this is ridiculous of what they have done to this guy and to their fans. I don't understand it. If you haven't already, like, subscribe. Again, at 100 followers or 100 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a Josh Allen signed mini helmet. And let me go get that thing real quick. I got to show you guys. All right. I have a Josh Allen signed mini helmet. We'll be giving this away. I hope you can see it. Yeah. Okay. I will be giving that away once we get to 100 subscribers. So, sorry for my rant. Sorry for my little commercial there. Let's get back to Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield in 2021 only played 14 games. He had 418 attempts, 23rd in the NFL. Passing yards, 24th in the NFL. Passing touchdowns, 22nd. Again, he did not have the best year. He didn't really even have a good year. But it's hard to when you have a separated shoulder that you're trying to play with, and you have a diva at wide receiver that you have to throw the ball to. Or his dad posts videos on Twitter or Instagram or whatever he was posting videos on. Completion percentage, 60.5. Yards per attempt, 7.2. Not a huge improvement over Sam Darnold, but it is definitely improvement. The big time throws is 20, so he definitely does like to throw the ball downfield, and he's totally okay with that. If he throws an interception, so be it, but at least he's trying to score touchdowns. And this is a run-first team with the Browns, so they are going to run the ball a lot, and I was looking at stats on that, and I was very I don't want to say blown away, because I really wasn't that blown away whenever I saw that, but it was definitely it was eye popping. We'll say that. Red zone completion, 60.4. That's 9th in the NFL. That's one thing I do like about Baker, is once he gets down in the end zone, he can get a touchdown. And as a DJ Moore, or somebody that wants to own DJ Moore in fantasy, that's huge. Somebody that can actually get you downfield and throw a touchdown. NFL passer rating was 83.1. So Sam Darnold was 71.9 last year. In his worst year, Baker Mayfield is 83.1. Come on, Carolina. Bring him in. Browns, pay all that guy's contract. I know you won't, but you owe him something. Get him out of there. So I went ahead, again, and adjusted stats for 17 games. He threw for over 3,600 yards, 17th in the NFL. That's between Ryan Tannehill and Trevor Lawrence. So, again, bad year, but it's his worst year. This is about average. This is his worst. Touchdowns, 20.64, 17th in the NFL. That's between Ryan Tannehill and Taylor Heineke. So he's up there with Ryan Tannehill. 15.7 interceptions, third most in the NFL. So again, bad year, but this is his worst year. And that's why I almost didn't want to do this. I wanted to go off at 20, but I was like, no, you know what? We're doing off at 21. We'll show this guy's average versus this guy's worst year. Now, he would be a very good number 2 quarterback. That I am totally okay with, but not your number 1. Career stats, 60 games. You see there 14,000 passing yards, 92 touchdowns, 56 interceptions. Career completion percentage, 61.6, 59.8. 7.3 yards per attempt. So again, he does like to get the ball down the field. 120 big-time throws. That's what I like to see. That means he is taking chances, trying to get it downfield. NFL passer rating of 87.8. NFL passer rating of 76.9. So let's talk about DJ Moore. DJ Moore, fantastic player. Doesn't have much going on. He has Christian McCaffrey. That's all he's got. So last year, he had 163 targets, which is 6th most in the NFL. When I saw that, I had no idea it was that high. That guy was getting the ball thrown at him. That guy was walking out of the locker room and getting the ball thrown at him. I don't know if you guys remember the Kyler Murray commercial where he's got the VR on, he's throwing the football in the locker room. Yeah, that's what was going on there in Carolina. Except Sam Darnold was the one throwing the football in all of those scenes. DJ Moore is just standing there, it's just hitting him. 93 receptions in 2021. That's 11th most in the NFL. 1,100 yards. That's 10th in the NFL. And you see there, 4 touchdowns. So the guy got thrown the ball a ton, but they could not score touchdowns. Because why? Because of their quarterback. You bring in Baker Mayfield, even if that touchdown goes to 6, DJ Moore is a top 10 wide receiver. And it's further down the list here, but you can get him in the 4th round right now. They bring in Baker Mayfield, and that's what I'm curious to see. I want to do this video before that happens to see how high he jumps. It'll definitely be in the 3rd round, but will it be the top of the 3rd, late 2nd? I don't know. But right now, if Baker Mayfield is right there right now, if my draft was today, and just now they said Baker Mayfield is being traded to Carolina, I would easily draft him in the 3rd, definitely the 4th. You guys know how I like to go running back. He would be my first wide receiver off the board, and I'd be totally okay with that. I'd have a top 10 running back, possibly a second top 10 running back, and a top 10 wide receiver. All of my first 3 picks. You guys have to look to see if he gets traded to Carolina, where is DJ Moore being drafted? Because I'm laying out all these stats, and he's on the edge of being a top 10 wide receiver. He just needs that little oomph, a touchdown or 2, and he'll be there. Catchable target rate, and this is crazy, was 71.6% last year. That means when the ball was thrown to him in those 163 targets, 71% of them were catchable. That's 71st in the NFL. That's crazy. Finished last year as wide receiver 18. He missed the top 10 by 22 points. What is that? 3 touchdowns? So if he would have had 7 touchdowns last year, he'd be a wide receiver 10. It's ridiculous. His strength of schedule this year is 22nd, so that's good. And currently being drafted at 401 between Terry McLaurin, who I just spoke about, their quarterback, Carson Wentz, and Michael Pittman Jr., who I do like. And he's playing with Matt Ryan, so I'm not going to talk anything bad about either one of those players. I like Michael Pittman's quarterback. I do not like Terry McLaurin's quarterback. I would rather have DJ Moore over Terry McLaurin, especially if Baker Mayfield's traded. And that's what I'm very curious to see how high he jumps. So that's my video for today. Thank you guys for stopping by. Sorry I got a little bit heated. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, like this video. It helps with the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm. Just keep bumping it up. The more subscribers, the more I can do. Once I get to a point where I can how do I want to put this? Once I get to a point where I can start getting more merchandise, I can start doing more giveaways. So right now we have the Josh Allen, the helmet giveaway. 100. Once we get to 100 subscribers, we'll give that thing away to one of you lucky subscribers. I hate using that word. I'm not very good at it. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you, and have a good rest of the day.